Hi, I'm super delighted to have you join me today on today's installment on etiquette tips. My name is Chagozie Madindu, and this is Educate the Citizens International Organization, ETSAYO for short. Today we'll be talking about the common mistakes people make in public restrooms. So I'm talking about restrooms that are outside of the house, at the workplace, in hospitals, in restaurants, in hotels, wherever you find yourself outside of your house using a restroom that's a public restroom. Now, I did not understand how much of an issue this poor toilet hygiene was until we began to train organizations on business etiquette. By the way, we do a lot of that for organizations in case you're looking for, who to help you brush up the manners, the character and the social skills of your workforce. We are your best plug. So when we start training organizations, we realize that most times when people contact us, they will tell us to tailor our workshop content to emphasize on the need for proper hygiene in the office, especially as it concerns toilet manners. And so the more we train, the more we realize it was a major issue. So today I thought we should talk about it. How about that? Now, let me start by saying that your toilet manners, your manners generally give us an insight, are like windows into your soul. Yep, is that serious? How you conduct yourself generally gives us an idea into your soul, a sneak peek into your very essence, who you really are. Like the tip of the iceberg illustration, the bottom part that is buried beneath the water, or well, let's call it the water of life, the things we don't see about you, your conduct, your manners, your etiquette gives us an idea into it. So I need to let you know that if you have very poor toilet hygiene, you're indirectly telling us like home training, you have zero exposure as far as I'm concerned. And honestly, I like to say that your poor toilet hygiene is actually an act of wickedness, whether you like it or not. And I like to say things the way they are. Now, without much ado, I want us to get right into the 10 common mistakes people make in public restrooms. Mistake number 1, leaving the toilet seats and the toilet lid open. Yep, like this. We've had this argument with a lot of people, and every time we have our training, we ask people, should the toilet seat be down or up? And you hear people say, oh, it should be up. Oh, no, it should be down. Well, I'm here to settle it today. Your toilet seat should actually be down and covered in every toilet. When you flush, it should be closed. You don't want the fume and the germs from your toilet to rise into the air and settle on precious things like your toothbrush or surfaces. Yeah, please, let's settle it. You close your toilet seat with the lid. Everything should be closed. It's even safer, especially in houses where you have children. And I know we are talking about the office or public places, but I just thought to chip that in. Okay? Number 2 mistake, dripping on the seat. Come on, guys. Guys and ladies alike, you don't drip on the seat in a public or even a private toilet, for goodness sake. And if you do, because I know there are times when ladies do not want to sit down on public toilets, and I mean because it's a public toilet and you just squat to do your stuff. It happens. But once it does, please take a roll of tissue paper and clean up after yourself. Nobody wants to come and see anything that came out of you. No matter how pleasant it is to you, it's very offensive to the next person. And guys, really, 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 if the toilet seat is down, like take it up and do your business and clean up after yourself. But please, it's very inhumane and it's really wicked. It's unfair. It's another level of injustice by itself. Like the injustice is in a class of its own, to leave the toilet seats down and pee on it and allow somebody else come in to see it. So I know that the people listening to me don't have bad toilet manners, but that's fine. Please subscribe to this video and help us to share it with the ones who you think need to see this video. Okay? Now, number 3, please avoid making phone conversations in the toilet. Like seriously, like toilet, public toilet, and you're there calling and doing your business and taking time. Yikes, that is so wrong. Please don't do that. Okay? Finish your business. So the toilet, because it's a public toilet, there's bound to be traffic back to back. So you don't want to ever be caught delaying or making someone have an explosive experience outside of the toilet when you're making phone calls. So the toilet is definitely a no-no for phone conversations. We eventually get to the point where we talk about phone etiquette and the places where you should never be caught dead making a phone call. Mistake number 4, making chit-chat conversations, just regular conversations, while being in the toilet. I call it the chatterbox syndrome. Please avoid it. So that you're in the toilet with somebody and you guys are sharing the same urinal, in case it's for men, or you're sitting close to each other or next to women, and you just feel like, oh, I like your perfume. Where do you walk? In the toilet. Yeah. So apart from people wanting to do their business in the toilet, some people actually think that the toilet is a safe place to have a moment to themselves. So for either business, whether you're there to do your business or you're there to just get some free you time, everybody wants to have some measure of quiet while they're in the toilet. So please don't be that person that makes unnecessary conversations and just annoys people. Number 5, not flushing properly. I have seen cases and I've heard people argue about not wanting to wait for the toilet tank to fill up before flushing again. And I'm like, what's the alternative again? What's the alternative? To flush once and the business doesn't go away completely and you stand up and leave for me to come and flush it again for you, or for what to happen exactly? Yeah. Guys, please, that is very wrong. So let's not have courtesy flushes. Let's flush it all the way. Stay in that toilet and make sure that every single thing leaves and that the toilet is spin and span, whether you met it that way or not. Please don't do a courtesy flush and go away. And if you're closing the toilet to flush, please and please open it to confirm and make sure that everywhere is clean before you leave. And when I talk about dripping, I just forgot to mention, please don't drip on the floor too. If you drip on the floor, you use a mop to clean it. Sometimes you have to even take a tissue to clean the floor if there are no mops available. It just, for me, toilet etiquette doesn't just talk about what doing it well for other people not to be offended. It also talks about how well you respect yourself, how much value and importance you place on yourself. That's what toilet manners is about. So it's not just about the next person, because some people do not like other people, but you like yourself enough to treat yourself with some respect and keep your private things private. Okay? Mistake number 6, reading in the toilet. Oh my goodness. You might be able to get away with it in your private toilets, but in public toilets, in restrooms, please don't carry a book into the public. Why on earth would you do that? That's a public toilet. Apart from the fact that there is traffic in a public toilet consistently, people do all sorts of things in the toilet. Now that book will leave the toilet and go to your bed or your dining table or your room or your kitchen slab, and you're taking it into a public toilet. Need I say more? Yikes. Okay, I don't even want to talk much about it, but please, we do not read books in public toilets. It's wrong. It's wrong. You're wasting time and it's unhygienic. What do? When you're washing your hand, do you also wash the book? Verse 7, not replacing the toilet supplies. So when I'm talking about toilet supplies, I'm talking about the toilet rolls, the sprays, the toilet brush, because a lot of organizations forget to put in the toilet brush and people stain the toilets with you know what, and then there's nothing to flush it with. So this is for the individuals as much as it's also for the organizations to take time to ensure that you regularly check your toilet supplies to make sure that there is nothing short in the toilet. At every point in time, you give people sufficient toilet supplies to do their business and leave the place pleasant and clean for the next person. Number 8, and this is very common, guys, barging in. Like you just open the toilet door, boom, and you're like, oh, sorry. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to take some 2 seconds and go come, and that's literally 2 seconds. Please always knock before you barge into public or private restrooms. It's very embarrassing to you who is barging in and the person who is doing their business to have people barging on them, and then you have to apologize. I know apologies are good, but I like to say very often that apologies do not fix everything. So as much as possible, Please reduce the situations that make you apologize to people out of embarrassment. So you don't want to go in and watch somebody doing, I don't even want to paint any picture in your head, and come back and say sorry, and what you have seen you cannot unsee. You know what I mean, right? So please don't do that. Always knock before you get into a public restroom. 9. Hey, just delaying at the sink, making up, arranging your hair, or just washing the hand that will never get clean. I call these ones the Lord of the Sink. These ones like to just stay in the sink like they own it. Please, in a public restroom, we are all in this together, so do not come and be blocking the sink. So even if you are in a restaurant and you feel the need to pick your teeth or brush your teeth or just freshen up at the sink, move away and do your stuff and let people have access, and then come back only when you need to do something that pertains to the sink, like wash your hand. If you need to use the mirror, step back a bit and use the mirror while someone else is washing their hands, because really, if all of us stayed at the sink, then there will probably be no sink to do anything at all. The 10th one, which is definitely not the least, is avoiding putting your personal things on toilet slabs. I'm just going to pause a bit and let that sink in. Toilet slabs, ladies, your bags, your phones, those things should not be on public toilet slabs. Oh my goodness, please, you are indirectly killing yourself. Because what's going to happen is that you pick that phone or that bag or whatever it is and you put it on your bed, on your dining table, and food falls there and you eat it. So you, oh my goodness. Okay guys, as much as possible, all I'm trying to say is you do not in any way put personal belongings on toilet slabs for any reason. Put your phone in your pocket and do your business. Come and wash your hands. And regularly sanitize these things. Sanitize your hand, sanitize your phone. Even your handbags need to be sanitized once in a while and cleaned properly. Yeah? 1 to 10. I hope this was super helpful. There's a scripture in Deuteronomy 23:12-14 that even talks to Christians. In those days they didn't have the kind of toilets that we had. So one of the instructions God gave the early Jews was to ensure that for every time they needed to do their business, something like a shovel or a hoe, and went towards the outskirts of their city, did their business and covered whatever system of toilet you're using, whether it's a regular water closet or pit toilet, or those who are used to short putting. If you're watching this video, I need you to know that there are 3 principles that must consistently be in your mind. Because in that scripture, the Bible said that God used to work between them, and God still works in between us to keep us safe, away from our enemies and all of that. And so the Bible was telling the Jews in the time to make sure that their immediate environment was consistently clean, lest the Lord comes and looks away, so that God doesn't come and is irritated. So if the God who made us and who gave us the ability to poop and pee feels disgusted at our waste products, who are we not to feel disgusted at our own waste products? Do you understand? So if God feels offended by it, humans will definitely be offended by it. So I'm just saying that it's a no-no on all ramifications. I want to leave you with 3 principles. Principle number 1. If you did it, please keep it to yourself. Nobody needs to know what comes out of you. In fact, make people believe that when you go to the toilet, all you do are petals, rose petals come out of you in whatever business you do, right? Number 2, if you didn't do it and you meet it, please clean it. This is the hallmark of an icon. This is the hallmark of somebody who respects themselves. And then, number 3, the principle of making sure that you leave things better than you met them at every point in time. So don't come and contribute to the mess, and don't come and tiptoe around the mess. But at part time, when people encounter you, even after you have left somewhere, a toilet, a place, legacy is left behind, that people feel a sense of your personhood after you have left a toilet. I hope somebody has been blessed by this video. The essence was to help us understand why there are so many arguments, and just to lay some of these arguments to rest. I'll see you guys some other time, but I have a trivial question. The toilet roll, whether in a private or in a public toilet, should it roll over or should it roll under? So should the toilet roll this way or this way? Let's hear your answers in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and please do well to share this video. You think needs to see this. Until next Tuesday, have a blessed week.